Thanks so much for joining me for the fifth chakra. This will be a 60-minute practice, and we usually start with a couple yin poses, get into the active portion, and then finish up with some restorative at the end. I'm Anne-Margaret, and with Raise the Vibration. Thanks so much. Let's get started right away and grab your blocks. I'm going to put you into a restorative fish pose to start. Today, since we're focusing on the fifth chakra, we want to make sure that we're really getting in touch and very present with the neck and the shoulder area today. So you want to place your block on the second height, or if it feels a little intense, you can always go down to the first height. And I like to put a little blanket on top as well, just to ease the intensity of the pressure. But you don't want your blanket to be too thick, so make sure it's about quarter fold. And then if you have another blanket as well, place it up near your head, just in case you want to slide it underneath of your head. Now the legs extend outwards from you, legs together, and then the block will go underneath, right behind, like ladies, if you wear a bra, right where that bra line would be, but right in the upper back area. And then the head can come down, and if you want it to be supported by a blanket, the blanket can be right there. Now we have another option to take the hands underneath of the head for an added shoulder opener. If you like that, it feels really nice too. Now remember, this can be very intense, so if you want to start a little lower, come on out, place the block on the lower height, lay the blanket on top, and that might feel a little bit easier depending on when you're doing this in your day. If you're doing it first thing in the morning, it might be nice to go with the lower placement for this, okay? If you're not placing your arms above your head, you can place them out to the side or down. You just want to relax here as much as possible. Legs can release. They are straight in front of you. You don't have to keep them flexed like you would in a normal fish pose. And just close your eyes here. Great. Remember, when you're setting up these postures, that if you need to shift a little bit to get it right, to actually finagle the pose a little bit, it's worth taking the time to do. So if you need to do that right at the beginning, go ahead and shift, make sure that you're comfortable. And then when you're in the pose, it's going to evolve. Okay, it's going to evolve. So take your time, breathe into it, flooding the breath into, especially the rib cage in this pose. And if your arms are overhead, it's getting into the stretch of the armpits as well, armpit chest into the triceps. And just breathe here, enjoy this opening. And once you've settled, we'll now get into more of the thematic elements for the fifth chakra. So the fifth chakra is right at our throat. It's connected to the thyroid and parathyroid glands. And the color associated with that chakra is the color blue. So if you can begin to visualize like a blue sea or blue ocean wafting through that area, or inhaling, visualizing, breathing that blue energy into the back of the throat and then out the front of the throat. So inhale, feel like it's a little stem coming in the back of your neck. And exhale, out the front, like it's blossoming into a flower. There are 16 petals, one for each of the 16 Sanskrit vowels associated with this chakra. And the name of it is Vishuddha, meaning pure. So as you continue, begin to bring in a ujjayi breath, like an ocean breath. If you're new to ujjayi, it's inhale, open your mouth like you're fogging up a mirror, and then make the same sound as you inhale. Now close your mouth and make the same sound in the back of your throat. Inhale, same sound. Good, and as you're breathing in this posture, if it gets too intense, you can always come out, but see if you can, if it's getting pretty intense, as the yin poses do, See if you can soften any areas around where the most intensity is, and then soften, drop the weight into gravity and see if it releases itself. Good. We're going to sound the frequency of this chakra together 3 times. And you're going to be in this position, so you don't have to worry about the sound being perfect. Just let that blue breath pour into the body. Exhale it out. And the sound associated with this chakra is the sound hum. Hum. Like a little. Okay. Inhale. Hum. Beautiful. Last couple breaths in this pose. And once you're ready to come on out, first remove your hands down to the ground. Bend one knee and then the other. And then you can grab your legs here to help you come all the way up to sit. Open the knees and just do a simple Baddha posture. Releasing the head from that extended position in the cervical spine. As you release the head, let any thoughts you've been carrying with you that have been creating an undesirable reality drip out the top of your head. Just see them being absorbed by the earth. Continue with Ujjayi breathing, that ocean breath. Nice. And let's come into a second yin pose for this morning or this evening, whenever you're practicing. I'm going to take downward puppy. It's a great opener for the shoulders and the neck, depending on how we set it up. So I'd like you to take your 2 blocks and place them on the second height, but leave enough room for your head. So you don't want them too close together, you don't want them super apart. So leave them close enough together so that your head can actually slide through. And then I like to have a blanket underneath of my knees, just adding a little bit more support. I have to be up a little further. And then this posture, you're going to take your upper arms onto the blocks. But we don't want to just place them up there like we're putting our elbows up on a counter. We want to first pull the elbows inwards, creating an external rotation of the shoulder. I know it seems like it's internal because the elbow's pulling in, but it's an external rotation of the shoulders, pulling those elbows as close together as possible. Use one hand to position, or to steady you as you position the first elbow. And then the other elbow pulls in, palms come together, and then head just releases down towards the floor. Palms can come together. They can fall onto your back for a little easier position, or they can stay elevated to intensify this yin pose. The neck really wants to be releasing. So take a moment to get into this pose. Make sure you're not sitting back on your heels. Your hips are a little elevated. So check out where my knees are in relationship to my hips. They're just a little in front of my hips. And then I have this nice release, sort of like a hammock, dropping down with my torso in towards the floor, and then my head releases down. If your head is in contact with the floor, I want you to come up onto the top blocks and top position and take the position here. It just means your shoulders are a little bit more open. And if this at all gets too intense at any moment, you can always come out of it. Or you can also slide a little blanket, just have to fold it underneath of the head, the little trifold, and place it in between your blocks. Okay, a couple options. So as you're in this posture, continue to breathe. Continue to flood the body with that color blue as you're breathing it in. And then you can also mentally vibrate the seed sound, hum, in your mind, hum, hum. All right, I have a quote to share with you that's very appropriate for the times that we're living in right now. And to remember the power that we have to create. It's something that is a very much a theme for this chakra, Vishuddha, the throat chakra, connecting with our power to take accountability, to be responsible in our life. And around the ages of 15 to 21 is when we begin to really understand what responsibility is. If we hear responsibility the first time, it usually sounds like a big burden. It's your responsibility. But when we break down the word ability, responsibility, we can see that if we take responsibility, it really is the ability to influence or control your response to the world or the world's response to you. This is an incredibly powerful chakra that is connected not only to our first 5 that are related to elements and senses. So the element for this chakra is the element of sound, and the sense is hearing. And how we listen to the world has everything to do with our reality. The filter through which we listen, whether we're listening to somebody as wonderful and the next thing that comes out of their mouth is going to change our lives, or whether we're listening through the critic, judging, assessing, keeping that at an arm's length. We have incredible power to create with this chakra, and it's connecting us with the earth elements and also with the more esoteric elements of the 5th through the 7th chakras. Really connecting to inspiration, divine guidance, intuition. So I know this posture may be getting a little bit tricky for you. See if you can hold it for about 10 to 15 more breaths. If you're feeling any tingliness or falling asleep in any way in the limbs or the shoulders, come out of it and reassess, come back in and see if you can create more of an easeful posture. And so open, listening with a blank slate, with an open mind and open heart. This is called In the Hands of Man by Susie Kassem, I believe is her name. He who creates a poison also has the cure. He who creates a virus also has the antidote. He who creates chaos also has the ability to create peace. He who sparks hate also has the ability to transform it to love. He who creates misery also has the ability to destroy it with kindness. He who creates sadness also has the ability to convert it to happiness. He who creates darkness can also be awakened to produce illumination. He who spreads fear can also be shaken to spread comfort. Any problems created by the left hand of man can also be solved by the right. For he who manifests anything also has the ability to destroy it. In the final breaths of this pose, let go of any resistance in your jaw, your tongue, your face, your pinky toe, anything where you're holding to try and control the release. Great. And coming out of this pose can be a little less than graceful. So go ahead and extend your arms forward. Lean into one arm to release one arm down to the ground, positioning with that hand to support you. And then come on out. Bring your arms back to your sides. Come down and rest in child's pose. And now let's go ahead and roll up to sit. If you'd like a little extra support, go ahead and place it underneath of your hips. Place your props to the side to clear your mat. And now let's come to a cross-legged position. Hands can be on the thighs. These exercises, some of them come from Kundalini tradition, but we weave a lot of different styles into Chakra Yoga. So we'll inhale, looking to the right. Exhale, we'll look to the left. Rather than whipping your head left and right, like you're voguing, see if you can just smooth it left, smooth it right. Keep it nice and fluid, but keep the breath nice and sharp. So it's inhale, exhale. Keep it going. Let's hear the breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Keep the breath nice and strong in and out of your nose. Now speed it up. Need a tissue, go ahead and grab one. Go at your own pace, as fast as you want to go. Unhinge the jaw, keep the tongue nice and heavy in the mouth. And the crown of the head is lifting towards the sky. So we're not collapsing in the spine or rounding in any way. Keep going. Sit bones press down into the floor. Heart lifts up, nice and proud and courageous. Good. Now exhale twice. So inhale left, exhale right. Keep visualizing the blue color as you focus on the third eye. Shoulders soft, heart buoyant. Keep strong posture, long spine. Inhale, center. Hold the breath, pull the pelvic floor up and in, belly up and in, chin tucks back and down. Hold the breath. Column of blue, sparkly, glittery energy all the way up the spine, out the crown, surrounding your body. Release all three locks. Exhale out your nose. Good, deep breath in. Open the mouth, side out. Beautiful. Next one, right ear to right shoulder, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, right, left, right, left. Close the eyes, focus on your breath, on that blue color in the throat. Keep it going. Pretty steady pacing here. Yes, your rib cage can move with your neck as you're moving that head around. Don't want to be stiff at all. So unhinge the jaw, the tongue. Keep it going. Exhale twice. Inhale left, exhale right. Keep the heart lifting, spine nice and tall, even though it's loosey-goosey, like that loose noodle. Good, keep going. Hands are nice and grounded, arms relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Upper back nice and strong, lifting that heart. Inhale, center. Hold the breath. Pull the pelvic floor, bandha, lower belly in and out. Tuck the chin back and down. Heart lifting. Don't drop your head. Good. Hold, hold, hold. See that column of energy up the spine, surrounding the body with blue. Release all three bandhas. Exhale out your nose. Inhale fully. Open the mouth, side out. Great. Next, you can either have your hands on the floor or on your thighs. You can switch mid-time too if you like one better than the other. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, drop. Inhale, up, drop. Keep it going. Up, down, and maybe you can speed it up. Up, down, up, down. Can you keep a light mind? I know you're focusing and it's taking a lot of energy to do this, but can you keep a light mind? Keep the heart nice and buoyant so you're not collapsing out of exhaustion. Keep it lifted, elevated out through the crown with those arrows shooting up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Strong back, strong spine, and really play with it. If your neck feels tight, you can look left and right to loosen it up. Keep going, getting a lot of energy and freedom into the neck and to the shoulders. And imagine just your favorite song playing, you're having a good time. Good, have some fun here. Keep it light. All right, now shrug your shoulders up. Hold your breath, pelvic floor up, belly in and up. Tuck your chin down and back. See that calm of energy. Release all 3 locks. Exhale, relax your shoulders. Oof, that feels good. Inhale. Open the mouth. Bring your arms to the side. Shoulders roll up and back. Turn your head to the side. Keep things nice and loosey-goosey. Other direction. Great. Now bring the arms all the way up overhead. Reach them high. Palms face you, okay? Or face me. All right, palms face me. Reach the fingertips all the way up. And as you pull the elbows down, make fists with the hands and lift the chest even further up. We don't want to collapse with the torso. So inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. We're going to increase this pace in. Just go as fast as you can. Let it have a little build, so don't go right to the fastest speed yet. Keep a tall spine so we're not collapsing. Belly is so strong here. Back is so strong, and crown is lifting towards the sky. If your neck starts to get a little tense, turn your head side to side. Keep going now as fast as you can. Keep the breath going. Can you let a little smile come to your face? Keep visualizing the blue. Good, go for it. Let go of it, right? Something that's in motion, it's easier for it to stay in motion. Don't stop. Keep going. Good. That's it. We're almost there. About 10 more seconds. Give it all you got. Keep the breath nice and strong. And 5, 4, slow it down. 2, 1. Exhale, palms face upwards on your thighs. Good, let's do one more side. Inhale, open the mouth. Enjoy that beautiful rush of blood into your thumbs, your fingertips, all along the shoulders, getting a lot of great blood flow here. Great. Bring your arms to the side. Just do some gentle shoulder rolls. Head turns side to side. Be really sensual with these shoulder rolls. Not because you're trying to seduce somebody, but because you're trying to just enjoy that movement in your body. Find pleasure in that shoulder movement. Other direction. Enjoy. So we carry so much tension in our shoulders and our neck. So keep letting go. Great. All right. Now go ahead and bring the legs out. If your knees are bothering you at all, just rock your legs side to side. Give yourself a little break. Or you can windshield wiper your knees in and out. Now place the soles of the feet together. We're going to get into our necks in a big way. If your knees bother you at all in this position, I'm going to show you something really quickly you can do. You can roll up your blanket and create a little added support by placing that blanket over top and underneath the knees. Just gives you a little bit more support if you need it, okay? So we're going to take the hands back behind our head and inhale. Exhale, round your back. Let your elbows drop towards the floor and breathe. You're not pulling on your head with your hands. You're just allowing the weight of your arms to carry that stretch a little deeper in the back of your neck. And you'll also feel this stretch down the back of the neck into the upper back. Now lowering your right elbow, let the head gently turn to the left. Keep your left elbow relaxed, so it's not opening out to the side actively. It's just relaxed. Where you're getting a little different stretch into the side of the neck. See if you can let go a little more. And now twisting the other direction, letting the left elbow come down. Head turns gently to the right. And that right arm is just laying on the forehead, just resting. Come back to center. Stay here. And now roll all the way up. Open the elbows, lift the chest. And now we'll take the left elbow down towards the feet. Exhale. Inhale back up. If you have more flexibility in your pelvis, you can take that right elbow in front of your feet. Just go as far as you can go. No pressure. Good. Exhale. Inhale up. And exhale. And one more time, each side. Exhale. Left elbow down. Inhale up. Exhale, right elbow down. Great. And now let's take the right elbow down towards the side of our mat. Bring the right hand down. And left arm comes alongside the ear. Right shoulder, watch that it's not up by your ear. Give some space to that ear. Now straighten both arms, looking up at the sky. Open the arms up, looking up, getting a nice stretch in the twist of the neck. And then wave the hand all the way down, release your head. Inhale again, arm all the way up. And then bring that hand forward, framing that right knee. One more time. And exhale it down. Keep it down, but walk your hands back in and roll up. Inhale the arms up and release the hands behind the head once again. Now I want you to take your two thumbs alongside your neck and lengthen that neck up. So your inner ears will pull back and up. Good. Now let's take the side bend over to the left this time. Placing the left hand down and reaching the right arm alongside the ear. All the while pressing that right femur bone, that thigh bone, down into the ground. Creating some nice opening in the right hip. And now straightening both arms, twisting in the torso and in the neck. And then wave that hand forward and down, framing that left knee. Inhale, paying mindful attention to the neck and wave it down. Again, inhale. And exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Keep it down, let the head release, and just slowly walk your hands in Roll the head up. Good. Turn your head to the right. Turn it to the left. Do that one more time, to the right and to the left. And then scoop up the outer knee. Remove the blanket if it's on there. Scoop up the knees and close them like a book. Walk your feet forward just a little bit and then scoop underneath of your knees. Let your forehead rest on your knees. Or if you're up a little bit, just let it hang. No big deal. Deep breath. Take this moment to reconnect with the blue visualization of that color with your breath and mentally vibrating that sound hum. Good. Go ahead and roll up. Let's come on to the shins. If the knees are a little tricky, you can always place the soft fold of that blanket behind your knees, and I lean forward so I can open the fold of my knees even more and lean back to sit down. If that's really intense too, and you'd rather not do the compression of the calves and hamstrings, another way to do this is to place a block in between your feet and sit on it. Make sure that when you're sitting on your block, it's in the length position, lengthwise rather than width, because you've got a little bit more room to place those two sit bones rather than this, okay? So make sure that it is horizontal underneath of your sit bones. All right, if you are okay just sitting in more of a Virasana on the floor, you can do that as well. Or something in between, which is what I like, folding up the blanket. All right, so now that we are in our positions, I want you to reach forward and pull the flesh out from underneath of the knees, getting a little bit more spaciousness there. And then pressing down the pinkies in the feet, pinkies in the feet, and then the ring toe, middle toe, second toe, and big toe. Just press them down, give a little bit spaciousness and groundedness to those toes. Make gentle fists now and lean side to side, giving your bottoms of your feet a little massage. Good. Getting in there, just sliding it down. Doesn't take much, right? Now I want you to take your thumb and your index finger, making a little hook or a U, and squeeze around the heels. That's right. Just give it a little nice massage. Great. Excellent. All right. Beautiful. Palms face down on your thighs, and we're going to get into a little more neck stretches. Let the right ear drop towards the right shoulder. Bring your left hand down onto that heel or that ankle, or you can just relax it. Drape your right arm up and over the ear, touching the ear with the fingertips. Ensure that your right shoulder is not hiking up to do this. You want to make sure everything is as relaxed as it can be. Close your eyes. Great. If at any time this Virasana position, sitting in heroes with the legs, becomes uncomfortable or starts to fall asleep in any way, raise up your seat. So sit on another block or lift the hips a little higher so that you're sitting higher in the pose, and see if that helps. Now walk your fingertips back as you turn your head down to face your right foot. Enjoy this. Breathe in. Taking that stretch in the back of the neck over to the side a little more. See if you can let your left shoulder be really heavy. Good. Last thing here, begin small circles with your left shoulder. Keep breathing. And then whatever direction you're moving the shoulders, move it the opposite way, up and forward. Good. Keep going. Just a couple more circles. Breathe. And now release the right arm down. Let the head float back to center, coming all the way up. Nice. All right. Other side, letting the left ear fall down towards your left shoulder. Drape that left arm up and over to touch the ear. And the right arm is just relaxing wherever it's comfortable. Feel the heaviness of that right shoulder with the weight of gravity. And as we're stretching our neck, check in with the jaw and the tongue. And walking your hand back to the neck. Pull all the way at the top of the neck, right at the bottom of the skull. Enjoying this new stretch along the back side, diagonal. And now as the shoulder rolls one direction with that right shoulder. Go slow enough so that your neck can figure out how to dissolve that tension. Keep your breath steady so you have enough oxygen as the muscles need oxygen to stretch. Other direction. Great. Release your arm down. Let the head slowly turn towards the center and then rolling up. Great. Looking all the way up to the sky and all the way down to the ground. Rolling all the way up and all the way down. Great. Coming out of this pose, be gentle. Use your hands. Press forward. I'm going to show you this from the side. Press forward onto your hands and knees. And then you can remove your block out from behind you if it's still there. Extend one leg and bring some blood movement back into that foot and that leg. You can even circle around that joint. Good. All right, let's switch to the other side. And circle. Wonderful. Okay, if you have a belt, go ahead and grab your belt and a block. We want to have a block as well. Now we're going to place the block on the second height, although it may go down to the first or even up to the tallest height. And move any props off of your mat that are currently there. Your strap, I want you to open it so that it is about shoulder width apart, okay? Now, when we put the belt on, we want the arms to be able to be a little narrower than that. So I'm going to tighten up my belt. You want them to be about shoulder width apart or wherever you do your downward facing dog. All right. Now, when we come here into our downward facing dog, we're going to play with having the hands, of course, on either side of your block. But when you come up into downward facing dog, let's see where the block ends up. Actually, let's take our hands a little further in front. So as we come down, we can lower our heads onto that block with that strap supporting our forehead. Good, so breathing here in your downward facing dog, let that head be released. If your shoulders are a little bit more flexible, and you can come down and rest anytime, you can actually take the strap behind your head and come down even further onto a lower block with your downward facing dog. So find your position. It's not an easy position to find, but once you find it, go ahead and stay here. It's a partially restorative downward facing dog, letting that head be nice and supported. Now, since that belt is around your upper arms, keep your upper arms pressing
into that belt. This helps encourage the external rotation in our shoulder joint that we want in downward facing dog. Now, quite opposite, we want the hands, the inner hands, to press into the floor, for the forearms to pull towards each other in downward facing dog. So let's come down to rest for a moment. And I'll talk you through it when we're not in the posture. So when we have our hands, right, we've got the belt above in the upper arms, we want to press into that belt. That'll pull the shoulders onto the back. But the forearms want to pull towards each other so that we keep the weight in downward dog in the inner hand. So they're two oppositional forces, just like a bridge needs oppositional forces to maintain its physics. The shoulders are on the back. The upper arms are pulling away from each other and back into the socket, and the forearms have an internal rotation into the inner hands. All right, let's try it again. And let me just show you real quick why we want that. And I'll try and do it with my back to you. So if we don't have the external rotation, the shoulders are off the back. But if we do, the shoulders come on the back. So bring your arms up overhead without the belt. So if we have external rotation in our shoulders and the upper arms are pulling away from our ears, then we have a nice relaxation to the neck area in our downward facing dog. If we pull those upper arms towards each other, and a lot of times we're told, push the mat away from you, push the floor away from you. This is just counterintuitive to what our body really needs, which is space and relaxation and release in the cervical spine. Some people who start doing yoga end up getting more neck tension because of this one thing. So when you're in your downward dog with the belt this time, see if you can press those upper arms away from each other into the belt. And then the lower arms, the forearms, think about that internal rotation of the hands. Let's do it, okay? And then when you go into more of your Vinyasa classes with me or wherever you're taking them, make sure that you keep that in your mind whenever you come into downward facing dog. Okay, so let's come into it. Find your positioning with your belt. Downward facing dog. And now press into the belt with the upper arms. Draw your shoulders onto the back. And then press the inner hands down. Lower forearms, right? The lower arms in this position, pressing inwards and towards the floor and the inner hands. Great. Find those two oppositional forces. See if you can release the neck. And now come down, remove the block, go right back into your posture. Do it again. Upper arms pull apart, externally rotating, away from the ears. Internally rotating lower arms and hands. Good. And now feel the spaciousness you have in your cervical spine. Great. And come down, release, and bring your arms back to your sides for a well-deserved relaxation. Great, and roll up. Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and take two more semi-restorative postures. One's fully restorative and one is not completely, but it feels incredible for the neck. So for your belt, open it all the way up. And if you don't have your belt, you can actually rest your foot on a wall if you want and just do the stretch manually, more so. So make sure you have a nice open loop with your belt. Come on to your back. And now bring your left knee into your chest. You're going to slide the belt behind your head and underneath your hair. So that as you pull it up, it's going to hang right at the bottom of your skull rather than on the actual neck. It's going to hang right on the bottom of your skull. And then you are going to have the other part of the belt around your foot. Now, if this feels like it's too long, which mine definitely is, you want to pull the leg in, go ahead and tighten up your belt. until it gets to the point where you feel you've got a nice hammock. It's a lovely position when you get to it. Now, if this is too much of a stretch, remember you can always bend your knee. That's fine. I'm going to even tighten it up further. You do not have to keep your legs straight, the extended legs straight, so don't worry about that. You just want to make sure that that belt is in position and that you are nice and as relaxed as possible. Let the belly release, let the eyes close, and let the head be fully supported. There is activity, obviously, in that leg that's reaching up towards the sky to steady this position, but everything else wants to be completely relaxed. Now, as this chakra is the center of co-creative energies, of what we do here on earth and what we allow as unseen help from others, from God, from angels, from synchronicities to play in our life, I want you to focus on something right now in your practice, something in your life off of your mat where you are creating something and it's undesirable. Maybe it's a habit, maybe it's an addiction, maybe it's criticizing yourself or someone else. Addiction and that dysfunction of criticism lives in this fifth chakra. So just think about something that you do in your life right now off your mat that is disempowering. It's a disempowering choice. And let go of any emotional attachments or reactions. Just breathe here. And now, keeping your gaze at your knee, begin to open the arms and open the leg out to the side. And let it stay there. If you'd like some support with that leg, you can always place a block underneath of the thigh. Let the head relax down and still face towards that knee. Good, breathing here. Keep relaxing both shoulders. Feeling the inner hip, the inner groin opening up. So whatever area you're thinking about, just notice what you consistently choose. If it's smoking, you continuously choose to buy more cigarettes, right? Or light one up. If you choose to drink, you pour yourself that drink. If you choose to keep going over to visit with somebody who's not good for you, you can stop. You can stop that choice and not take that action. But what happens when the addiction really is more in the head, in the mind? So one action is obviously something you could stop, but where does the addiction originate? It originates in the brain, in the mind. So before we go a little further with that, I want you to hold both straps with your hands and then turn your head in the strap to look up towards the ceiling so that you have a different stretch now in your neck. So what thoughts come into your head when you are about to take that action that's addictive in your life in some way? What thought comes into your head? Is there an emotional attachment to that thought? What's the need? And then what's underneath of that need? Because our needs usually have very basic family of origin needs attached underneath of those more obvious needs. It's a need to take a cigarette or smoke a cigarette, a need to have a drink, or need to stay in a relationship that's not good for you. What is the underlying need? Just think about it as you breathe, as you bring more space into this throat chakra. Now getting out of this, be mindful as you came in, hold both straps with your hand, turn your face to face backwards towards your knee, and then grab both straps with your right hand. With that top hand, press your hand down into the ground as you come all the way up to your hammock. Okay, and then we're just gonna switch legs. I'm gonna turn around for you. So go ahead and switch legs. Place your right foot up into the strap. And you probably have it at a good length, but check the side could be very different. Position that belt so that it is underneath of your skull and that you feel pretty steady here. Okay, so what is that thought? What is that need underneath of that thought? I'm trying to get this out of my way. There we go, good. Maybe if you keep going into the same relationship that's not good for you, you can see how it's playing out. What's the need for connection? And there's one school of thought that addiction, or the root of all addiction, is a lack of intimacy, is a need for connection. And we all have addictions. It's not just the anonymous groups or the people who struggle with substances. We all have addictions to negative mindsets. We have addictions to negative beliefs. We have addictions to fear, to drama. Keep your eyes on that knee and follow it out to the side as you come into a different position here. If you'd like, place a block underneath to support that leg a little bit more. And so breathing here. When did this addiction start? Do you remember? What exacerbates the negative self-talk, or what exacerbates the feeling of feeling out of control or needing connection or needing to not feel? What are the triggers? And then can you see in those moments that even though it sometimes feels like an unconscious choice, what do you choose in that moment? Hold both straps, turn the head to face the ceiling, getting a different stretch on the side of the neck. What other choice could you make in those moments? Something that still fulfills that need, the need to feel nourished, the need to feel safe, the need to feel free, the need to feel loved or commune with something, that intimacy. Is there something else you could do? Is there someone you could call? Is there a self-love practice you could replace this addiction with? Hold both straps as you turn your head to face back towards your knee. Steady yourself on the ground as you hold both straps with the top hand. Lift all the way up for this hammock. Just another breath or two here. And then reach up, slowly lower down onto your back. And just notice the freedom and the space as you slowly rock your head side to side. Good. Deep breath in and out as you rest as fully as you can. Good. If you want to place a blanket over top of you, go ahead and do that, but just stay in the Shavasana, completely relaxing, palms facing upwards. Move anything out of your way that you need to. Letting that breath come in, visualizing that blue. Letting the whole back body release into the floor. And then just as gently as you can, little rocks from side to side with the head. Even though you're still being and maintaining this Shavasana position, let the head, almost as if in a dream state, rock so slowly, ever so slowly back and forth. Just feeling those tiny, tiny caressing movements. And when you feel that you've done that enough, let yourself come to stillness. And as you're breathing, listen to all of the sounds around you. I'm hearing the diffuser, where I'm diffusing this blend called Whisper, which is the 5th chakra blend. What are you hearing in your environment? And rather than judging it, just have the space to listen and observe. What do you want to create with your choices? There's a beautiful quote by Werner Erhard that says, "I do not open my mouth unless I want to create." This very simple sentence reminds us that with every word we speak, we are creating our reality. Whether we say we can or whether we say we can't, we're right. How can you use your words as a tool for conscious creation? How can you use your thoughts as a tool for conscious creation? We must be the guardians of our minds, of our energy, for what we allow in greatly influences everything. How you choose to see someone in your life who is very challenging for you impacts very intensely your experience of them. If you listen to them through a disempowering filter of frustration, of intolerance, of judgment, keeping them in this tiny box of your projection, you will miss the gift that they are in your life.
how can you shift your listening through the filter of that great teaching of Namaste, seeing everyone around you, everyone without exception, as a teacher of how you can become more compassionate, open, and free. How are you imprisoning yourself with your own projections, with your own disempowering filters through which you are listening to these people in your life? Through which you are listening to yourself. And in this moment, in the final moments of your practice today, choose a filter, maybe a mantra, something you repeat to yourself, or a commitment you make from this moment forward to shift your reality by shifting your listening of yourself and the world around you. Maybe it's always looking for that wisdom and the teacher in others. Perhaps it's the filter of love, surrendering all resistance. You choose. Deepen your breath, bringing small movements back into the fingers and the toes, and rocking your head slowly from side to side. Unhinge your jaw, your tongue. Inhale the arms up overhead, reaching for the wall behind you. Feel length through your entire body. Bend one knee. Place that foot on the floor, and then your other knee. Roll onto your right side, and slowly come up to a comfortable seated position. With the eyes closed, and take the tongue around the front of the teeth in a circle. Do that 5 times in one direction, so the tongue is tracing the outer teeth. Another direction. 5 times. Good. And rest the tongue inside the mouth. Tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Lips together, teeth apart. Bring the palms together. Let's sound the frequency of the throat chakra hum 3 times. Inhale. Ha. Bring the hands up to the forehead, honoring your thoughts. down to your lips, honoring your words, and to the heart, honoring your love. All three tools of creation. Namaste. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you in your practice today. Join me again. I'm Anne-Margaret with Raise the Vibration. Have a wonderful, wonderful